This is a clip from the Chris Drake Show podcast.
Type of people.
Well, speaking of having your spot there, having a spot reserved for you,
right?
We said we were going to talk about the Skatopia thing,
right?
And when you show when you show up at any venue, if you're in a band, you usually immediately go to the booker. You know, the guy who booked the show, or the sound guy, or something. You know, it's usually the booking,
the doorman,
somebody's in charge, and they tell you when the hell you're playing,
right?
And we get to Skatopia, and this guy, there's no one there to tell you at all where you're playing, what stage you're on, when. You know, it's pretty much like a glorified, it's kind of like the Lost Boys from Hook or Peter Pan. You get there, and there's nothing, there's everything going on at once, but no one's in charge. And the person who you think is in charge, A, isn't there, and B, everybody else is telling you that he's not in charge.
That's the worst.
Yeah. And we're there for a 2-day festival, and these people are we think, okay, we're here to see Foo. We got to see Foo. They're like, Foo's not here.
Foo was the guy that quote-unquote booked us at Skatopia, right?
He brought us there.
Yeah, he got us there.
What do you mean brought you there or got you there? He just said, come on out?
He contacted us and said he was booking bands to play at Skatopia. Mm-hmm. And we were like, yeah, that'd be cool. You know, well, what's the details? Yeah, we'll play, you know. So that's all we knew about Skatopia, you know. We were like, this is awesome. This 88 Acres of Anarchy place.
Yeah.
That movie hadn't come out yet.
It initially sounds legitimate.
Yeah, it's like, wow, we were honored to be able to go there, you know, because neither of us skateboard, you know what I mean? We like it. I'm just clumsy, you know what I mean? I like to ride the longboards that don't get off the ground, you know, just ride around on them. But you know, we like skateboard community. It's cool to be accepted by them. And then we were, everybody was real, do you skate? Oh, are you in a band? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's wow, that was, it was respected there. Yeah. Nope. I really like the skateboarding community. They have a lot of love.
You're one of three things. If you're at Skatopia,
what's the three?
You're one of three things. You're either in a band,
right?
Or 2, you're a skater, or 3, you're homeless.
That's actually true, I think, yeah. As far as I know, yeah.
Were there children there?
I might have seen some young tykes, but I didn't see any babies or anything.
No, I didn't know of any parents that had kids that lived there.
A lot of dogs.
Yeah, lots of dogs. It was like, wow, this is cool. We brought Harold, you know what I mean? Our little tiny dog, little buddy Harold, you know, and he
ran with the pack.
He did. He got loose.
He ran with the pack, 88 acres, and he came back and. He ran with the dogs the whole weekend and had a blast.
Yeah. And
at the end of it, he just showed up and got back in the car. And he was covered in all sorts of shit that you had to brush out of his hair.
Yeah, for the next, driving to the next state or whatever. Yeah, we were still pulling out those crazy gnarly Skatopia brambles out of his hair.
And he found his way back.
It was his Woodstock.
Yeah, Woodstock without anything. I mean, they have built, the things that they have built are all skateboarding related. They haven't really built they have ramps and stuff in the main.
Yeah.
And
so
you're playing
awesome. You're playing on the side of a bowl or something.
Exactly. Yeah. While people are skating, you know, you get to play music, and it's just you kind of
there's no
create with them, because skateboarding is definitely an art form. You know, and you get to create music while people skate. It's a really cool feeling. And that's really cool. But there was a lack of organization.
It's chaos. It's 88 acres of anarchy, and this guy, everyone's, Foo finally showed up, and he's like, I got a list. Put your name on this list. We're gonna book you. We're gonna schedule you. I got this list. And,
just sign.
Yeah, and he's talking to everybody. He's telling us 8. And then, he tells us what stage we're on.
Maybe we'll play at 8. And the whole time, other people are like, Foo told you what? No, he's not in charge. What are you talking? And they'll be like these, they're real, kind of pack-oriented, so it's like, who are you? I mean, it's down, kind of in the redneck kind of community, and
Dale J. Gordon.
Oh, yeah.
He solved that problem.
What did he do?
He solved that problem. He figured out the pack. He figured out how to infiltrate.
He did.
He was like, okay, guys, we're playing on this stage right here. He's like, either one of us can go first, but we have to know that we're both playing back to back. And our excuse, if anybody asks, is because we have to use each other's equipment.
That guy is such a character, dude.
Oh yeah, and he's like,
we need to definitely write him into something, man. That guy is hilarious.
He says, let's find the sound guy. So he finds a sound guy, and he's like, this is the stage we're playing on, and this is our sound guy. And he goes up to the guy, and he hands him a brown paper sack with an apple, a peanut butter sandwich and a beer. And says, hey, man, my name's Dale J. Gordon. I'm with the... I want you to know that we like you, and we're just giving you this beer because I think that you're worth it, and you need it. So when are we playing? And the guy's like, cool, man. Yeah, we'll get you up after these guys. But then I think Dale realized that he told that to everyone. So yeah,
all
so
the
no
bands
one's-
were probably coming up to this guy.
Yeah,
and
every
saying,
band
"Hey,
was
man,
coming on
Here's
next."
a sandwich.
So Dale's like, here's what we're gonna do. We're
Some
gonna
fruit.
grab all of our equipment, and we're gonna take it. And we're just gonna sit it on the stage. I don't care what's going on, who's playing, who's next. We're gonna take all of our equipment and sit it on the stage, and nobody's got nothing to say about nothing because we already have our shit here.
That was a really good idea.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
thinking logically the whole time.
Yeah, and that's what we did.
Yeah.
But we were told at like noon that we were going on at 2, and then at 3. So I'm having my beers, I'm like, let's get a little
Oh
sauce
yeah,
here.
we're about to go on at
Let's
2,
get a little
so,
sauce.
We'll
Yeah,
have one or two
let's get
before
ready.
the show, and then
It turns into an all-day festival, and finally at 2 a.m., we're
2
finally
a.m.?
at 2 a.m.
is that
Finally,
what time we finally got to play?
it was so late, man.
Yeah.
And our band actually, no, that was a different occurrence. It was the first time our
Yeah,
band
we played
left.
there like 3 times.
Yeah, the first time our band left. The second time, anyway. We're about to go on, and it's now 2 a.m.
Yeah,
And I had to,
I remember that.
yeah, and I had to have a costume. I had this little thing that I was wearing, right? So I was like, I was going to wear this shirt
Yeah.
and these pants. So I had to change my pants.
Right.
But, I was drinking at noon. So by the time we get on to 2 a.m., and I'm changing my pants, I'm like, well, I don't need to put these pants back on. This will be funny if I just go up in my underwear.
Yeah. Took
So
a
I-
cue from the green Jello. The guy did.
Yeah,
he's
the
running
Mr.
around.
Marshall Stacks. So I go on there in the underwear, in my
go on-
shirt.
you go on
with a
stage
mask. We didn't
with
even want
a
to know
mask.
who we were, so I had my mask,
In your underwear.
my underwear, and my shirt.
That's how you started
Yeah,
off.
yeah, that's how I started off.
Started off the show in the underwear.
And
You
then-
can only imagine where this is going to go.
One song in, I couldn't see anymore because of my glasses and the mask. So I had to take the stupid mask off my face.
Right.
So now everybody knows who I am. Who cares? And then, eventually, the shirt comes off. And I'm just up there in my Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas underwear.
Now, I do think it was that girl who prompted you to take the shirt off. What was her name? It was familiar from the Bible. Jezebel.
Jezebel.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
man.
I think in my head because I
How
was
fitting.
playing. Yeah, exactly right. It was just like, wow, this is just too much of a trip to try to fall for you, Jezebel.
then-
But I think she ripped your shirt off, like, hey, give me your shirt, like
Oh,
something like
God.
because yeah.
I never found the shirt.
I'm cold.
And then we got one,
Shit,
we got
yeah.
one last song left, and I'm like, take a cue from G.G. Allen. One last song left.
Yeah,
I'm
one
like,
last song.
you know what?
GGL, great punk rock.
I'm gonna do it because I started drinking at
GGL,
noon,
known for playing naked, known for
Yes.
just doing the crazy stuff. That
and then
he was-
by 3 a.m. I'm shit faced from noon, and I'm on stage, and I got one song left, and I decide I'm gonna take my underwear off.
I remember, in my head remember the moment you do it, and in my head I remember you said like, "Oh yeah, okay, I'll do it." And then, that's what I remember, and then you ran into the crowd like it was
Yes.
a threat.
I ran into the
like someone
crowd,
prompted you.
completely naked,
Someone
acting
requested
a
this.
fool. I jumped around, I started a circle pit. People were slapping my ass. I fell down. I was so drunk I fell down completely nude on the fucking deck of whatever that place was with the
Yeah.
skate bowl next to me, whatever that stuff is. I don't even remember. I just know I was naked and it's the last song and I'm gonna fucking do it. And then the song was over. And then you guys started playing, and I was like, "Oh crap! I miscalculated. There's a second song. It wasn't the last song." So then, and at that point, I felt like I was gonna puke because I was drunk since noon, and I ran in a circle for fucking 3 minutes. So I'm like, I'm gonna puke. So I just sat down on some stranger's amp, naked.
You just
And
did some
kept-
Henry Rollins,
and
just
kept-
like I'm gonna go all out for the last song, include nudity in it, just go all out on this last song. Just until there's no drop of energy left. But it was the second to last song. So you wake up on the second to last song and you're naked in a puddle of sweat.
Yep.
We got one more for you.
Thank you.
Yep. That's exactly what happened. And then what proceeded was the least energetic performance of the whole show. I then sat down naked on a stranger's amp and just sat there while I sang the last song so that I wouldn't puke on the stage.
I think they all understood, brother.
Yeah.
The whole time, the audience was trying, the bands before us, I remember this one guy in particular, like, hey, brother, have a drink with the crew. And it's like, you couldn't not do it. Like, no, I don't want this. Like, yeah, you do it, motherfucker. Ooh. It's like this, you know what I mean? You don't want to step out of line with those guys, especially if you've only been there a couple of times. It's like, you know what I mean? You could be seconds away from some tragic,
Well, even beforehand, I was in the sound booth, like with the guy, because he had his own little booth. The guy that was operating the sound.
Yeah.
And I was smoking a herbal blend with him.
Yeah, you guys did really smart stuff with networking.
He was awesome. Well, the dumb thing I did, I was like, "What are all these knobs?" He had like a 32-track mixer. I'm like, "What are these?"
Right.
And he's like, "I don't know, brother."
Right.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, what's this one?" And I grabbed it and I just started going whoop whoop and turning it up and down, and you could hear the music just stop on the stage. And he looks at me and goes, "That was the vocals, dude." No. He turned it back up.
Wasn't his name like Rooster or something?
Oh man,
it may not have been, but he's a cool guy.
It was something like that. It was something animalistic.
Yeah, we'll give a shout out to Rooster if that is your name.
That was a horrible crow.
Oh,
you got a
turkey.
crow? You got a crow?
It's a turkey. A crow?
The rooster's crow. Nice.
This one's for you, my brother.
Indian tune.
I'm a crow.
So that's a story of how I accidentally got naked on stage. I wasn't aware it was happening, and by the end of it, after the show was over, I was walking up that big sloppy hill.
Oh man, that was a beast.
I had my underwear, and I was walking up that hill, and I fell down the side of it, and it got wrapped in what I now know as what is it? It's that brass cable. It's that copper cable that it starts with a B. It's what's inside like concrete. Like anybody who's listening knows exactly what I'm talking about. But it's horrible stuff that I got wrapped up in, and I got scratched up, and I think I broke my glasses, and I was only in my underwear. I was only wearing my underwear, just walking around Skatopia at the end of the night by myself, and shit blowing up everywhere. It was
the whole time. I was gonna say most people wore masks on stage because they were afraid of the fireworks shooting in their face.
And I was completely naked, and somehow at the end of it, I'm wandering around all by myself in my underwear, falling down, and I never felt more relaxed in my life.
Yeah, it was so chaotic. I didn't experience the whole nudity blackout, thing, but I definitely. It definitely pushed me into a place I'd never seen. I really like that place. I always wanted to go back and help them do some work. I'm making quotes here, but I'm not helping anybody build anything. I'm not skilled in that.
Cool place.
Go there to play, or I would like to donate money to them or something if I had it.
Or you can just go to PayPal and donate to the Chris Break Show. Go to chrisbreakshow.podomatic.com, and on the right you'll see a link, and you click it. So you say, I want to give $1 to the Chris Break Show.
Or more.
Or less. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, whatever you want. No donation is too small, and we appreciate you. And we want to get naked and perform at your house. So if you want to give us $10,000, I'll give half of it to Sarah and let her get naked, and I'll take the rest to myself and buy a new computer.
Assuming she would get naked for $5,000.
There's no, I don't. There's no discussion. Like,
okay,
I tell her
you've had this conversation before. Then apparently,
she's gonna kill me for saying this. No, she most likely would not do
totally not do that.
Yeah, most likely would not do that.
And if you're a fan of the show, you wouldn't ask her to do that.
I'm not. What does that say about me?
He hates this fucking show. I'm not a fan of the show.
We had a couple things lined up, but
we're gonna.
That happens. Well, I have something to share.
All right, tell us.
You were telling us about this show, things out of your control. We had a similar experience. I'm not sure if you remember. John and I, we were playing a venue here in town, and we get there. Well, actually,
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, Indiana. In fact, is there another Indianapolis in the United States?
I'm sure there is.
I think there's in one.
Not Minneapolis. I'm saying Indianapolis, Indiana. And anyway, we're playing this venue in Indianapolis, Indiana. I don't know if we played here twice or not, but I remember on one specific occasion, like we kept getting bumped back, like continually getting bumped back. And the problem was we didn't have like proper equipment or something because this place would not mic equipment. Like they would not mic any of our, they wouldn't mic an amp. Like we do not mic amps here.
Yeah, I mean,
We
it's
don't,
small, right?
We don't do that. It's not. It's. I'd say.
Just
you know,
go. Just what
Where-
are you, what are
where
you
was
talking
that?
about?
Was that at the
I'm talking
Melody?
about playing this. Yeah.
The Melody.
The Melody
Inn.
Inn. You don't talk shit on the Melody Inn. That's my favorite fucking
Well,
bar.
I wasn't-
You don't fucking. You don't mic shit at the Melody
That's
Inn.
why I didn't say the
I don't understand.
Rich Barker.
Rich.
No, but
Barker's
this guy,
my fucking
this
man.
guy, yeah, but we're playing this guy. This guy's, we can't.
The sound guy there that night was saying that they don't mic amps.
We cannot. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay, we got this.
I don't
you
like
know?
where this is going at all.
No,
I don't like where this is going at all.
No, this expertise sound guy.
Right? Right, the sound guy
shoot me
said
in the
that.
face.
No.
This guy, he's like, we'll straight plug the bass into the soundboard.
Right, yeah, I've never heard that before. It
Wow.
sounds like something,
Yeah.
if I were a sound guy,
That's
I would
hilarious.
suggest that, but it also sounds unprofessional. I've never heard that. It sounds like something that
It sounds like you're asking for something stupid, so he's offering something stupid.
yeah.
I wasn't
that's how I
asking
feel
for
about it.
anything stupid.
Well, he
I-
was willing to let us
I
plug
just
directly
thought-
into his
yeah,
soundboard.
like, I
Wait,
just thought it was-
the problem was you guys wanted to amp a bass?
It was, well, I mean,
Well,
we could have
I
we
think
could have
they-
amped. We could
I'm
have
sorry, you guys wanted to mic a bass amp?
I think maybe he offered, but yeah. Like,
or we could have mic'd the guitar and plug the bass into the other amp. Honestly, I mean that would have worked. But regardless,
what
it
was the problem? Our
was-
equipment was like real small. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like, we had, like,
It was like practice.
10-inch amps or
I
something,
mean, there's
practice
plenty
amps.
of. I think
Okay.
isn't that how Neil Young
Okay.
does it? He uses like a really nice practice amp, but he mics it on
Really?
stage.
Okay.
Like a lot of people do that. I just thought it was
Yeah.
like standard practice.
Especially for smaller bands. I remember when me and Chris played, it was like we would go there expecting. It was like, dude, we only got little amps, but they always mic them, man, so we don't even have to have big
But
amps
the-
to sound good.
But the,
The
Melody
point-
Inn, you don't need.
I'm not complaining about the thing.
No,
is, I'm not
no,
complaining
you're
about the melody. I'm not.
Yeah, you're not. Okay, hey, we have a letter here. All right. This is to Lionel Olay, and it's from Hunter S. Thompson. It says, trading jobs with his old jousting friend Lionel Olay, Thompson levied a harsh critique of Lenny Bruce. This letter was written September 20th, 1963, from Woody Creek, Colorado, Box 7. Dear Lionel, thanks for the good advice to stay poverty-stricken until I can come through with a nice, esoteric little novel that won't make any money. I'm trying Kesey's book now. It's good, I guess, but so what?
From the Chris Brake Show podcast.